Welcome to the Chapel Collective, where we bring you portions of messages that we get to hear in our chapels here at Faith Bible College International. Today you're going to hear from Pastor Richard Holmes, Connection Church in Eastern Kentucky, and he really brings this powerful truth forward where if we decide to go deep in God, God will decide how far we go in the ministry. So I know that you're going to be blessed by this message in the Chapel Collective.
The depth test. Verse number 4 says, when he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, put out into the deep water and let down your nets for a catch. Put out into the deep water. Everybody shout, deep water. Deep water. I want you to understand it requires zero effort to stay in the shallows. He said, Peter, I know you're out here in the shallow water right now and you don't have to do anything to stay in the shallow. You could just stay right here, but I'm asking you to go out into the deep water. It requires zero effort for you to stay in the shallows, but if you're going to get depth, you have to work. Now, I realize I'm speaking to the choir here this morning because you all, as Bible college students, you're demonstrating that you value depth. You don't want to just stay in the shallow of what you've always thought, what you've always believed. You don't want to stay in the shallow of just an emotional experience or living in an echo chamber of your own ideas. You are people that value depth. But you need to understand this other side of it. You are responsible for your depth. God will handle your width. When you demonstrate to the Lord that you value depth in His presence, depth in His word, depth with people, depth with ministry, God will handle the width of your ministry. You have no obligation before the Lord for how wide your ministry goes. He handles that. You are responsible for how deep that you go with Him, how deep you go in His word, how deep you go with people, and how deep in a community that you are willing to invest your life. Once you demonstrate to the Lord that you are a person who values depth, He says, that's a person I can trust with width. Paul says it to 2 Timothy in chapter 2, verse number 15. He says it this way, do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who does not need to be ashamed and who correctly handles the word of truth. Do your best. Not to present yourself to people. It's not a performance thing. It's a worship thing. Do yourself to present yourself to God. Study for your sermons to the best of your ability. Why? As an offering to the Lord. Prepare yourself for your time of worship ministry as an offering to the Lord. Prepare yourself in your time of children's ministry, youth ministry, outreach, evangelism. Do your best. Why? Not for a performance aspect for people to pat you on the back and say, that was so wonderful, I really felt the Lord. No, as unto the Lord. You're presenting it to the Lord. Demonstrate to God you value depth. That's the first test for everyone in ministry leadership. Do you want to just hang out where you've always been in the shallows? Or are you willing to put in the work to go deep?
But if you will learn to stay steady in 4 years of Faith Bible College, you're on trajectory to say it was God that called me. And if God be for me, who could be against me? I'm talking about you coming a boy and going home a man. Talking about you coming in here as a little girl and walking out as a woman of God. You ought to be able to run massive ministry, massive outreach, and do great things because Jesus is coming soon, and you will if God is your source.